this meeting to order. This is the Engineering Equipment Committee of the Vallecitos Water District for Tuesday, July 28th, 2026 at 3 p.m. Do we have any public comment?
No, we do not.
Okay, we'll dive right into the agenda here. 1.1 Capital Facilities End of Fiscal Year Update FY 25-26.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hand it right over to our team. So
All right.
it's mainly engineering and operations stuff. So.
Alright. We'll get started. So good afternoon, committee members. My name is Stephanie Roman Phillips, and I am your district engineering manager. Today, I will be presenting on the Capital Facilities Engineering Fiscal Year 25-26 CIP Annual Report. So first, we will talk about the agenda, what we will be touching on today. First, we're going to discuss briefly the overall district-wide fiscal year 25-26 CIP budget. We will discuss, and mostly the emphasis of today's presentation will be on the Capital Facilities Engineering Division's CIP fiscal year, or switch that, fiscal year 25-26 CIP budget. We'll talk about those budgets and expenditures in design phase as well as construction phase. And we will discuss the budget versus expenditures as well as the utilization rate. We'll talk about change orders and finally completed projects in the fiscal year 25-26. And then we will provide an update on projects in construction. So this slide and pie chart are intended to show the overall district-wide capital improvement program budget. The different colors represent the different departments within the district. Capital Facilities Engineering in blue, other engineering such as development services and asset management in yellow, operations and maintenance in purple, IT and finance, which administers Encino Wastewater Authority's budget in orange. As can be shown and seen on this slide, the overall district-wide CIP budget for fiscal year 25-26 totaled approximately $39.4 million. And of the $39.4 million, Capital Facilities Engineering administered approximately $24.4 million. Well, I will say, manage an overall budget in fiscal year 25-26 of approximately $24.4 million. So this slide is intended to show that $24.4 million, which was managed by Capital Facilities Engineering Division in fiscal year 25-26 on the first bar, and then CIP budgets over the next 4 fiscal years, providing an overview of the 5-year CIP budget under Capital Facilities Engineering. On this next slide focuses on design or expenditures in the design phase. So as shown on the bar graphs, the colors here correspond to different projects that are currently in or that were in the design phase during fiscal year 25-26. The yellow color corresponds with the Land Outfall Parallel Sewer Section A project, and the green with the Twin Oaks Valley Road Sewer Improvement Project, which are 2 of the district's largest projects in design in the fiscal year 25-26. Important to note that some of these projects extend over multiple fiscal years. So this slide here is intended to show that those projects the 2 largest projects where they were in the past 4 years and in the future 4 years, again, 25-26 being enclosed in the red box. This next slide is showing Capital Facilities Engineering CIP projects fiscal year 25-26 in construction phase, as well as expenditures. So as you can see on this slide, in fiscal year 25-26, there was 1 project in construction that dominated the CF engineering team, and that was the MRF chlorine contact tank expansion and sodium hypochlorite project. And then the gray indicates other projects, other CIP projects. So this slide is intended to show, again, you have the fiscal year 25-26 budget for capital facilities engineering at $24.4 million. And then we have a summary of expenditures at $22.2 million. So the green bar indicates budgeted. The purple, getting my colors mixed up, shows actual expenditures. And the team had a 90.7% utilization rate, which is very impressive.
Good job.
Director ELITHARP's been saying, hey, can you spend the money?
Get that
Can
up,
you,
We've been working on it over the years.
Yeah, good job.
It keeps getting better.
I noticed on the slide it shows the next 5 years, quite a drop in the budget. What's causing that?
So
Yeah.
this one,
No,
this
go back.
is,
Keep going.
one more.
That
That one. So it shows a drop in next year to 11 from 24 to 11. We're phasing out, and correct me if I'm wrong, we're phasing out of construction dollars into design dollars.
well, and my understanding was that this was the overall CIP budget, but this would show the phase out of construction in the future years as the bars drop, phase out of construction into design and then back into construction as those design projects wrap up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does
we're
that
going
make
to
sense?
design heavy
Yep.
next year, this year.
We're
Okay.
basically, big jobs are done, and we'd be spending a lot of design dollars on land outfall.
Right. So that's what
When-
this
when's
one
the-
shows.
In this
as
slide,
it
when's
ramps up. This
when's
one's
the land
design.
outfall projected to be done? Is
It's
there spending
it's-
after this?
It's multi-phases, because it's such a big job,
Okay,
so
so
we're,
that's not the end of it,
no.
No.
29-30.
And
It's
you
like-
can see the yellow increases as it stays in the design. This is the design phase slide, so it stays in the
Yeah.
design, but it decreases in fiscal year 29-30 as it moves into
I'm
construction.
guessing this is
Okay,
smart,
that
maybe
makes
construction phase services, or it's just the tail end of the design.
Tail end
Yeah.
of
Tail
the
end of the design,
Okay.
got it.
And I think construction's beyond 29-30.
So, yeah, sorry, I don't have it on here. No, that's okay. We don't, yeah,
Yeah, that's
we
why
didn't go
it's not
beyond
on.
29-30.
Okay.
So in the future, you'll see land outfall, construction dollars
Mhm.
starting to hit the budget, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's Finance and West, they kind of want that 5 year, and we don't look too farther beyond that.
Right.
They like to kind of stay in that 5 year window.
So this slide provides a snapshot of construction change orders through fiscal year 25-26 end. And as can be seen on the column labeled current construction contracts, let me see, current construction contracts for fiscal year 25-26, we executed 17 change orders by June 30th, 2026, correct me if I'm wrong, this one gets a little tricky for me. So industry standard for change orders ranges between 10 and 15%, and the Capital Facilities Engineering Division, their change order rate was 0.39%. So, which continues, yes, which continues to meet the district's tactical plan initiative and remains excellent within the industry.
15%'s the industry standard.
Between 10 and 15%.
Some agencies are higher,
Yeah.
into the 25%.
I talked to,
Yeah.
I talked to counterparts at the,
Name names.
I won't name the agency, but their goal was to keep it under 25%, which when I
initials.
saw that, I was like, oh my gosh.
well, I mean, not all cities, but a lot of cities I know, when I talk to their utility directors, they regularly see 20, 22, 25% change
Yeah.
order rates, so,
Mm.
on their jobs. And, so special districts seem to be closer to 15%, but not all of them. Some of the special districts, actually, one of our neighbors had a 32% change order rate on their jobs. That was a special district.
So over the last 5 years at the city of Escondido, because we had remained within a 10% contingency, we went to council for special permission to increase the 10 to a 15%.
Bottom line, we're doing good.
Yeah, no, you're doing great.
Yeah.
4%, beautiful.
No,
Point,
0.4.
0.4%.
Yeah, it's
0.4.
0.4.
Yeah, less than one.
Oh, my gosh. It's even better.
So there were two projects completed, two CIP projects completed in fiscal year 25-26 under the Capital Facilities Engineering Division. And those projects were the Tres Mingo Waterline Replacement Project and the Mountain Bell Reservoir Fence Project. So these two projects support the district's strategic focus areas 1, infrastructure integrity, as well as focus area 2, organizational improvement and efficiency, and focus area 4, fiscal responsibility. And the details associated with those projects are bulleted here on this slide. So the replacement of approximately 9,250 linear feet of 8-inch PVC pipe, 15 2-inch blow-off assemblies, 19 2-inch air vac assemblies, 3 water test stations, 18 8-inch gate valves, and approximately 200 or 300 linear feet of black vinyl chain link fence.
And you may recall the Tres Amigos water line was the source of a lot of breaks for the district. I think at one point we were getting about one a month.
Yep.
So, or more, I think.
Mhm.
And
And
There was
that's,
40 some, I think, on total.
yeah,
40 some repaired.
yeah, so, yeah, knock on the limb.
Yeah, we gave an update to the board on that, I think a while ago when we took that job for
Yeah.
acceptance.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and knock on wood, since then in this area, hopefully I'm not gonna say it, so.
Yeah.
It's been going good.
It's been good.
So with that, I am going to pass along the keyboard and mouse to Elizabeth, who's going to provide an update on projects in construction.
Yes, I wanted to provide an update on 2 projects in construction that are almost done and which should be coming to the board for project acceptance hopefully this first quarter. One of them being the Montiel Lift Station replacement. Construction was completed July 2nd. We're closing out final paperwork with the contractor. Our change order percentage was 3.3%. So next steps will be project acceptance to the board, potentially in August. But I also wanted to give the committee members an update that through commissioning of the lift station, we discovered that the pumps aren't pumping at the capacity that we would like to be seeing. We went through a lot of troubleshooting with the contractor, with the engineer of record, engineering staff, construction management staff, operations staff, and we've ruled out that there are no issues with the pump station, and we have concluded that there's an issue with the force main. So as you might recall, the force main was built by a separate contractor, already accepted by the board. It turns out in construction, in Nordahl Road, the force main was weaving in and under existing utilities, and a couple of high points were inadvertently created, which varied from the approved design. And so there's some high points without air vacs, and we have concerns that there could be some air locking issues there causing concern. So we requested a change order from Kiewit, the contractor for the lift station, to install those air vacs for us. Price was a little bit higher than we were hoping for, so we've been coordinating with Chris and his team to see if they have availability to install the air vacs for us, and they've agreed to help us out with that. So we anticipate getting those air vacs installed in late August, and just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on that. It is additional expenses for the project, although with district staff installing it, we don't anticipate a budget adjustment. We should have adequate funding.
Where are those located?
So
In the intersection.
Montiel Road and
Of
Nordahl
course.
is
right.
one,
That's
which is why
always where you never want that.
Yeah.
Sewage air vacs are a particular concern because
They clog and they.
yeah.
High PM frequency.
Yeah. Likely why the change order we've received from our contractor were so high because of the location of that one. And then the second one is in the shopping center, just a little bit further
So
west.
somewhere down the line, I'll be giving an update of probably work or night work going on in Montiel and Nordahl, and this is what it's gonna be most likely regarding.
Yeah, the good thing is they're shallow. I mean, that was the whole reason of doing the force main was to
Right.
keep it shallow. But yeah,
Hitting all the other utilities.
when you're shallow, you hit all those dry utilities and you gotta rope them around.
So we just wanted to share that with you, keep you in the loop.
So the lift station is functional, it's just not operating at the capacity intended.
do we know when Nordahl redesign and construction, aren't they gonna redo all that?
I haven't heard anything
The
about that.
road realignment, you mean?
Yeah.
'Cause they did the bridge a few years ago.
I thought like
Granite did-
Caltrans had a big project.
Yeah, Granite Construction did the bridge, that was a few years ago. And I don't believe anything else is there. I know that there's plans for Caltrans to extend a lane on the freeway, but I didn't think, because you know how it merges and we lose a lane on west side of Nordahl.
Right.
But I didn't believe there was any more work for Caltrans on the Nordahl exits, on ramps
Yeah,
or
I thought
off
there
ramps.
was
I could
more.
be wrong, but I
Yeah.
It might be Mission, it might be just past that, I think, sort of behind the Costco. I think that's the area that they may be extending that lane you talked about. I think that's a few years out.
so.
Okay, second project in construction I wanted to give you an update on is the MRF chlorine contact tank expansion and conversion to sodium hypochlorite. I wanted to let you know the project is 91% complete. As you might recall, construction started in August of 2024, had a 365 full 1 year construction schedule. So it was supposed to be complete August 2025. It's still ongoing. Current work, all major structural improvements and utility relocations are complete, so everything subsurface is done. Curb and gutter was installed last week. Asphalt pavement is scheduled to start paving next week. So there's a lot of progress below ground. There's still work going on above ground. There's still piping getting installed, mechanical equipment getting installed, and still some coating repairs to do. Now, you might recall in March of this year, we came to the board requesting amendments for Valley Construction Management, for construction management and full-time inspection support, and for Harper for our coating and specialist who does the special inspections for coatings. Now, at the time we brought those amendments to you in March, our contractor's schedule showed completion in July. And so here we are, sorry, not in July, it was in May. And then we had added some extra time to Valley, Sam, and Harper's amendments, just in case they weren't on time. So here we are in July. Our contractor's current schedule shows substantial completion in late September. So, as you can imagine, we don't have enough funding to get us through the contractor's current schedule. So we will be coming to the board. We've requested proposals from both Valley, Sam, and Harper for amendments to extend their services to complete that last 10% of this project. And we are, as a reminder, withholding damages from the contractor's progress payments. Currently, we have withheld $1.8 million. So I anticipate that those withholdings will pay for these amendments we'll be requesting. So just wanted to let you know we'll be coming to the board soon for amendments. The good news is there is a lot of progress and light is at the end of the tunnel. We're getting there. So hopeful that September is a realistic timeframe for the contractor to be done, since everything below grade is pretty much complete now.
Does the contractor submit any claims in response?
We have some disputed work for time impact for change orders that we're resolving. I think 2 of them are unresolved still, and that's what we have so far.
Yeah, but even with that, there's no anticipation that the disputed work is gonna fill the gap for the amount of damages that we've withheld. So if there is something that comes into the contract, then we'll be bringing that back to the full board in closed session if appropriate.
So just wanted to let you know that that will be coming soon. I don't have numbers yet. We're waiting on proposals from both of those firms, so I don't have numbers to share at this time.
Yeah, this is just an update to the
Yeah.
committee. We don't actually have the numbers. If appropriate, we'll bring it back to the committee for, if the timing works out, we'll bring it back to the committee with, actual numbers. However, if it's more, if the timing doesn't work out, we'll bring it full board, and we just wanted to make sure that the committee members have heard that this is a potential and the reasons for it. And if you have any questions, staff is here.
So I'll hand it back over to Stephanie.
See you again. So, in summary, thank you for listening to our annual report on Capital Facilities Engineering fiscal year 25-26 CIP update. again, strong record, proud of our team, and we appreciate your time and we'd be glad to answer any questions that you might have.
Well, thanks for the report. Any questions?
Yeah, no, I'm truly impressed with the change order amount.
Yeah, it's
Truly. I mean, 15, 20, 30%, and we're not even 0.4.
Yeah.
My goodness. Well, we must be estimating
Now, don't expect
correctly.
0.3 next year, so
No,
this
no,
isn't
no,
like, you know,
High bar to continue to meet.
Yeah,
It is, yeah.
it is very hard.
Well, it's been the staff has done a great job, and there was a historic graph that shows that this, the success has been repeated, not at a 0.4 level, but,
Yeah.
you know, at a,
been around
roughly 2%
2,
level,
yeah,
yeah.
2%
level, which is still very impressive, so.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to brag that back when I was down there, I kept it under 2%, and these everybody else behind me blew me away. So now I can't. I have nothing to brag about.
Well, next year we'll be completing, as they mentioned, both the MEADOWLARK project and the Montana, and then we'll be able to capture those change orders with some other construction projects we're doing, so we'll see where we end up next year,
It'll
but
be higher than
it'll
this.
be higher, but that's because the volume of work now completed is so much more higher than some other years, so it waxes and wanes.
All right. Well, thank you. Moving on to item 1.2, MEADOWLARK Water Reclamation Facility Asset Replacement Project.
Yeah, so it's timely that Chris talks about the MEADOWLARK project, because it's somewhat related to the MEADOWLARK project that Elizabeth just mentioned. So obviously we've got a contractor that's delayed our project. And as you know, recycled water production has ceased because of that construction. We're trying to get the plant up and running, 91% complete, it's coming up at the end. And Chris has a proactive request, and he's gonna talk about it.
Hi, good afternoon, directors and members of the public. My name is Chris Muller, and I'm the district's mechanical maintenance manager. Today I will be presenting the MEADOWLARK Water Reclamation Facility Asset Replacement Project and seeking the committee's support for its creation. First, I'll provide some background and walk you through a brief timeline of the ongoing project at the MEADOWLARK Water Reclamation Facility, or MRF. Then I will discuss the need for this new capital improvement project, its overall scope, and its benefits to the district. Next, I will discuss the fiscal impact creating this project will have on the district. And finally, I will conclude with staff's recommendation and take any questions you may have. In June of 2024, the board awarded a construction contract at the MEADOWLARK Water Reclamation Facility for the MRF Chlorine Contact Tank Expansion Project and the conversion to sodium hypochlorite project, now referred to as the combined project. In August of 2024, a notice to proceed was issued and recycled water production ceased in December of the same year. In June of 2026, as part of the pre-startup activities for the combined project, district staff conducted operational readiness evaluations of the critical treatment processes at the MRF. The combined project is currently in the final stages of construction, with startup and commissioning activities anticipated to follow in August of this year. The need for this project is driven by the importance of operational preparedness to address potential equipment failures during the transition back to full operation. Although the assets included in this project are currently operational and are not preventing the contractor from proceeding with startup and commissioning activities, they remain critical components of the treatment process. It is important to note that these assets identified in this project are outside the scope of the combined project contractor's responsibilities. As a result, the contractor is not responsible for their repair or replacement. Many of these assets require specialized equipment with long procurement lead times. In addition, some equipment has been idle for approximately 18 months, increasing the risk of failure when returned to service. An unexpected failure of one of these critical assets could disrupt startup and commissioning activities and delay the restoration of recycled water production. To mitigate these risks, staff is proposing the creation of this capital improvement project to provide a dedicated funding mechanism for the repair or replacement of critical assets and equipment. The combined MRF project is nearing completion, with startup and commissioning activities scheduled to follow. As part of the pre-startup activities conducted in June, district staff performed operational readiness evaluations to assess the condition and reliability of existing assets and equipment that are outside the scope of the combined MRF project. These evaluations considered factors such as equipment age, condition, maintenance history, operational observations, and the criticality of each asset to the treatment process. Based on these evaluations, staff identified and prioritized 3 high-risk non-tertiary assets: the primary sludge pumps, the headworks augers, and the influent pumps. These assets represent the greatest operational risk based on their criticality to the plant operations and the potential impact if a failure were to occur. As shown in the table here, the estimated repair or replacement costs are $63,000 for the primary sludge pumps, $50,000 for the headwork augers, and $105,000 for the influent pumps. While all 3 assets are currently operational, no immediate repairs or replacements are being requested at this time. The benefits of creating this project are that it provides the district with a proactive approach to managing the risks identified during pre-startup activities. This effort supports the district's priority of completing the combined MRF project and restoring recycled water production as reliably as possible. By establishing a dedicated funding mechanism for critical asset replacement, the district will be positioned to respond quickly if an equipment issue does occur. This helps minimize potential downtime, reduce impacts to the startup and commissioning schedule, and supports the timely restoration of recycled water production. In addition, this project provides financial flexibility by allowing eligible asset replacements to be funded as capital improvements, while preserving department operating and maintenance budget capacity for routine expenses and ongoing operational needs. As shown in the table here, the estimated project costs include $218,000 for equipment, $3,000 for outside services, $49,000 for staff overhead, and $30,000 for contingency. The total requested capital budget for this project is $300,000. Funding is available through the Sewer Replacement Fund and no additional funding source is required. Any project funds that are not expended will remain available within the Sewer Replacement Fund for future eligible needs. Staff asked for support from the committee for the creation of the MEADOWLARK Water Reclamation Facility Asset Replacement Project with a budget of $300,000, funded by the Sewer Replacement Fund to provide funding for the prompt replacement of critical treatment assets if failure occurs. I'll take any questions the committee may have.
Questions?
We're not buying the equipment, we're just funding, identifying the funds.
Correct.
Yeah, so this is, like you said, everything's running.
Right.
There's a chance if something happens, we're gonna have to move quickly. And instead of coming to you every time there's something over 50,000, we've got this bucket, it's ready to go, we move. If we don't need it, we don't spend it, right?
Is there any long lead times on any of these?
Unfortunately, yes, but having this ready to go will help mitigate those.
It'll shorten that schedule a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll still, we don't wanna pre-purchase things that we're not gonna need.
Exactly.
What's the reality of the situation is a lot of the assets over, a lot of the facilities over at MEADOWLARK are near end of life.
Yeah.
Again, and we've already ran into some items of failure, we've already come to the board for some funding on projects like the chain and flights.
Yep.
So, we're anticipating as we go through startup, there may be other things that come up. And every day that we delay producing recycled water also costs the district money.
Well, I'm certainly an advocate of being proactive as much as we can be, so
Yeah,
I certainly support
may
it.
not solve every
Sure.
issue, but I think this is a good approach.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful.
What are our reclaimed customers doing since we've been
So we've been supplementing potable water into Mar Reservoir on behalf of the Livenhain at the Livenhain's request, and they're paying for the difference. So they're paying Water Authority directly for that potable water, so it doesn't go on our books. And that gets into Mar through an air gap system, and then it's used in the Livenhain system. Carlsbad is producing more recycled water at their plant over by Encina.
Okay,
And they've been pumping it all the way into Mar and using Mar as a storage bay
okay.
for that
I didn't
facility.
know they had that capability.
They did.
Funny you say that.
They did, and they didn't know they had that capability either.
Had to
But
tell them.
well, Bill Plummer told me that they had that capability back in the day, and Terry Kreider, who took over after Bill Plummer left, told me they had that capability back in the day, but nobody else knew they had that capability. When push came to shove, they discovered they had that capability.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it works good. I mean,
So
Well, I certainly support the recommendation.
As well as I do.
so
Okay.
this item, we will plan to bring on the 4th, so next week.
so you'll see this at the board.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, next item, 1.3, development services mid-calendar year, calendar year 2026.
The big map.
So, good afternoon again.
And we expect you to read everything on
Well,
that table.
let's see if I can read everything
Can't
on the
read
table.
what's right here.
I may ask for Elizabeth's help on this one, so this map is intended to provide an update on development services engineering. It's a mid-year update, so 6 months, from January 1st through June 30 of 2026. What's shown on this exhibit is the entire district boundaries, as well as each of the board members' divisions in gray and green colors. And then private land development projects in entitlement planning, engineering, and construction. Projects, let's see, we can zoom in here a bit. Or not. So projects shown in green are projects in construction. Projects shown in pink are projects in plan check or entitlement phase, and projects shown in blue are projects in design, perhaps? No, blue is entitlement, pink is in design, so currently going through plan check. So you can see the heavily pink, blue, and green projects right south of the 78 around Cal State San Marcos is really developing.
North
A lot of development happening, private land development happening in that area. So back to this table, my understanding is that the total capital facility fees that remain to be collected are shown on these tables here. Projects are highlighted, project names are highlighted in the first column with acreage, project type, number of dwelling units, and then water EDUs and sewer EDUs corresponding to each project. Again, with your total capital facility fees remaining to be collected here on this water side and the sewer side.
And the timing for collecting the fees, those fees for projects in construction will probably be paid to the district in 2 years timeframe or less.
You can zoom up on the tables for the board members,
Okay.
and then we could go
This
if
way,
there's
here?
yeah, just go and zoom up more, even more. There you go. And then if there's questions on any project, we could go to it. But you can see we're looking at, this is remaining. So some projects already have water or sewer entitlements to them, just by the nature of the project. So this is the remaining amount, correct me if I'm wrong. So 3.3 million in water and roughly 10.5 million in sewer. And again, as Elizabeth mentioned, roughly 2-year time frame, plus or minus, on that, the expectation that this would actually be realized by the district.
And projects in construction, is that correct?
Yeah, this is just the
Okay.
first one in construction. And then, unless the,
There are more questions, I can scroll down to,
What's the capital facility fee these days?
for water and sewer, do you guys know that off the top of your head?
22, I don't.
Sewer's a little bit over 20,000 per single family home, and water is
7, 8?
about 8,000.
And then we'll scroll down to projects in plan check are in design.
Yep.
I guess
That's
I'll
in
go
plan
there.
check, yep.
Yes. So total capital facility fees to be collected for water are approximately a little under 5 million, and for sewer, 22.3 million. So if projects are in design, typically they move forward.
But the timing of that is more of a, was it 3 to 5 years before we collect those fees? And obviously, the further you get out, the less assured you are that the project will move
It'll
forward.
go forward.
And then the projects in planning or entitlement phase, here, those sometimes move through to engineering and construction and sometimes do not. So we've got a total of approximately $21 million in water fees to be collected and 64 million in wastewater.
And I'd just like to point out to the committee that the sewer numbers are quite a bit larger, but if you've seen from the previous capital facilities report, we have significant expenditures in sewer with the land outfall, the Twin Oaks sewer coming out. So, you know, there's parity to why the sewer fees are a lot more and the amount of collection is significantly higher than the water.
And do the recycled water projects fall under wastewater as well?
Recycled water projects are separate, yeah, so.
And I can zoom out again if anybody's interested in seeing
Yeah, any of the
the
projects.
projects.
How about the North City area? That's,
To zoom up on that area, maybe.
Is that
I don't
which, I don't know
recognize
which is that
anything
this one?
anymore
Yes.
down there.
Okay.
Yeah, probably most interesting, we're working on a water and sewer study for the Scripps Hospital, which is
Right
right
here.
there.
At the intersection.
So that's been a recent development coming through Stephanie's department.
Yeah, you can see the construction on the affordable housing green box as you're going down the freeway. It's been wrapped. So you
Yeah.
can see that there, that grading all occurred, so
Yeah, that's a huge
that's,
building.
and they're actively working with our staff on various construction changes and just things that come up. And our inspectors are out there all the time.
Regularly.
Yeah,
Any
Yeah, so-
questions?
no, very good,
Anything you want to see in more
No.
detail or?
great report.
Where's Restaurant Row? Are they pretty far along? They,
Construction?
Yeah, they got sticks up in the air.
Over
They're
here?
right there, green, yep.
Yeah, everything's demoed. I think utilities are getting installed right now.
They have the first building already framed up.
Mhm.
Nowhere.
Uh,
Left on vacation, came back, there was a building.
So that glass building in North City, I guess it's condos. Have you seen what the rents are?
Oh,
I
the
have.
12-story building, the,
Yeah.
what's it
It's like
called, the
12,000 a month.
333 or
have you,
222, thank you.
The top floor, $10,000 a month.
10 to 12, I think.
Really?
so Elizabeth and I were just over at the college. We were doing getting a tour of the new student housing as part of the APWA, and we were kind of parked right across the street from that building. And it, if you haven't been up close,
I haven't.
oh, it's really impressive. I mean, it looks like a luxury hotel when you're
Yeah.
up close, and all the glass, like you said, and
Yeah.
it's pretty impressive. I haven't been inside other than looking at the virtual.
Construction's done, so it's not
I think if you go on the website, you can do like a virtual tour of the rooms, and they are, again, it's like luxury living in San Marcos.
Yeah.
Seems out of place, but.
South of Block J.
It's the new San Marcos.
And I don't know what the occupancy is. Do we have any?
I'm curious as to what. the-
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not much
Do you have
right
a sense
now.
of the occupancy?
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, we can look at their water use, I bet you it's very little
Yeah.
compared to the size of the building at this moment because they're not fully occupied, but soon, or sooner or later they will
They
be.
have a vision.
Okay,
This is just
Thank you very
informational
much.
only.
thanks for the report.
Elizabeth, will the capital facility end of year report, will that be brought to the full board?
It will, the second meeting in August.
Second meeting in August. Okay, so you'll see it all again, but the development services, that's just a mid-year update just to the committee.
Correct.
Very good. Well, I think that ends our agenda, so with that, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.